diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning again. 2 lives in morning. You know I'm sick. I'm ready to go back to bed. So it's probably what's going to happen after this. Probably going to go lay down for a little bit. Leisure, good to see you. Honestly, I didn't expect you again. Right. I don't think I was done talking from earlier, and I'll try to sort this shit out in my head and what's right. That's really all I'm ever trying to figure out. What's right? What's this? Scott works with cameras. He knows what it means, like when something little is just kind of sticking up in the camera. Right? Let's get some guidance, though. Let's get some guidance. I think we all need that. I think we all need guidance. And I think the way that I'm going to start this is, I've been around for 35 years, actually longer than that, but who fucking cares, right? And I have a lot of experience in this program, outside of this program. I have experience with newfangled ways and things like that, and I've been through them, and I've experienced it, and I'm going to tell you something. Experience is fact. And you can either believe me or not believe me. But this new way of recovery ain't going to work. It's not going to work. I can go through the 12 by 12 and compare it right to the bullshit that's going on now. And I'll tell you the ingredient that's lacking. It's humility. See, when money comes along, humility goes out the door, man. Your brain does that. It can't help it. But let's get started here. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Backwards, it's spelled Noid. Yeah, avoid the Noid. Sorry. People avoid me, so that's why I laughed. People do. They avoid me. Right. I don't know why you're on my friends list then. I'm getting ready to remove a bunch more people because if you don't have God in your life, I don't know that I even want to talk to you. I don't know. If you don't give God credit for your sobriety, but you give this sober living and this person and that person over there credit for your sobriety, I'm going to give no one credit for my sobriety. Do you know who gets credit for my sobriety? God and me. You didn't do the work for me. I had to do the work. Now, I needed some help. I needed some guidance. But when we go around, run around saying that we're getting people sober, no, you're not. I can't get anybody sober. I can guide them. I can hold their hand. I can carry them. I can brush it away a little bit. But I cannot get them sober. They're going to have to ask for that. That's between them and their higher power. And that's something that I understand. And that's very personal, and I do not interfere with it. Sawyer, just go find something to do, dude. I'm not in the mood for you. Oh, you want the window open? Okay. He's like, I didn't want your attention, asshole. I wanted the window open. All right. They've got certain meows. Yeah, I can understand. So, yep, we're going to be in chapter 5. We're going to be in chapter 5. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. We're going to start there. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. And by thoroughly following the path, we mean the steps, the principles. Okay. Now your adventure is going to be different than mine, which is great. Okay. You know, if you're running around wondering if you're going to miss out, that's the devil talking to you. It's not God. God's not going to let you miss out on anything. Oh, I gotta get there. I gotta get there. No, you don't. No, you don't. Calm down. All right. Recovery is not a fad. No. Recovery is not recovery coaching. It is not sober living. It is not treatment. Those are things that can help, but that's not recovery. No. If somebody's making money off of it, it's not recovery in my book. I'm sorry. But it's not. Might be a lead to recovery. Build on recovery. I can go for that. But for us, I'm tired of all these people running around saying, look at all the people we help and all this. No, we don't do that either. What happened to our humility? Okay. I can tell you something now. 90% of the recovery coaches in Colorado are unhealed alcoholics and addicts. They have not done any work. Do you seriously want to take advice from somebody who has 3 months of sobriety for your life, who hasn't done the work? Would you? Would you? No, you wouldn't. I'm 53. Do you think I would get a life coach who's 20? Come on. I know it kind of hurts, but we got to know where we stand, man. Because if you don't know where you stand, man, you're just going to follow everybody else and you're not going to be happy. What you will have is toxic positivity, and we can't have that. Life isn't like that. Those who do not recover, people cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Period. There's spin-offs. Sure, there's spin-offs. Hey, Fred, good to have you, man. I don't know much about the Bible, but I do understand being born again. Yeah, it is the death of my old self, the death of Mr. Hyde. You bet. Thanks, Fred. Appreciate that, man. There are such unfortunates. They're not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. What? Science proved it. We alcoholics are born this way, man. We are bodily and mentally different from most of our fellows. And until you can accept that fact, what you will do is two-step. Somebody will come along with the grass is greener on the other side, but I'm going to tell you, it's just popularity anymore. I'm tired of, okay, AA is not popularity. We are attraction. So what is attraction? Well, that means that I got to be something worth having. Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I can't seem to do that without God. And I'm going to have to be willing to give it all up, good, bad, or indifferent. All of it. Now, how can we make the qualification of being honest when we first get here? Because I certainly wasn't honest. All right. I had to fake it a little bit. I had to let the people in the program love me until I could learn how to love myself, man. And that took a little while because I didn't like me. And I certainly didn't have any love for me. I didn't trust me. I didn't respect me. So how can I give that to you if I couldn't do it for myself? I had to learn that. They're naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Now, I like chapter 5 because they're not doing the hoity-toity thing, like being willing and suggesting. And you've got to get past the point of this being a suggestion. It's the same suggestion that you should pull your parachute cord if you jump out of a plane. It's that kind of a suggestion. Okay, we do it that way because alcoholics don't like being told what the fuck to do. So we had to go around, we had to kind of pitter patter around the topic a little bit until they can see it. What's the first honest thing I said when I got here? I don't know. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm Dion. I'm an alcoholic. That's probably the first honest thing I said when I got to AA. And it was the only honest thing in me because I had tried and tried and tried to get off the hooch. Right? And I'd been a drug and alcohol counselor. I'd done prevent, but I'm going to tell you, self-knowledge does nothing when you are in the cups. And it's a different type of hell. There's a part in the big book that says, we say this so that the rest of you don't have to go through the last 10, 15 years of literal hell the rest of us went through. It became a challenge when I was drinking. I was like, you want to see bad? I'm going to fucking show you. That's the different hell. Their chances are less than average. About half. From what I've seen, and I've been around for a little while, I don't care what stats NADAC and SAMHSA and everybody else is giving you. I go to meetings, and I'm there. About half. Yeah, about half stick around. Another 25% usually come back if we plant the seed. Okay, there are those two who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. I'm that. I am diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. But I recovered. I'm a recovered alcoholic, which means I'm at step 10. So recovered just means you get to use your brain again. That's all it means. It's not that big of a, okay, we're not cured of alcoholism, but don't go run around saying, I'm a recovered alcoholic and being terminally unique. Now, just be an alcoholic. You don't need to change your name. You don't need to give yourself a new identity. You don't, just be you, man. There's nothing wrong with you when God's in your life. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what is like now. Okay. Now that line right there is why we don't like usually. Okay. When I got into AA, if you had under 30 days, you didn't talk. And if you did, you got your ass raped. And it worked. I tell you something. People with 30 days or less don't have anything to offer. But that's not true, is it? It's not entirely true. It reminds me it doesn't work out there, but they don't need to talk for me to know that. Okay. Now, I don't mind. I've relaxed on that a little bit. Okay. But, okay, even my podcast, I like to have you, I like it so that you have a year more. And here's why. And what it is like now. Because otherwise, your story is just going to be full of what it was like. And it's just going to be a drunk-a-log. And I know you don't want that. So you need some time in the program so that you can share a little bit on what it's like now, because that's the portion that brings hope to lust your eyes. Yeah. You're a hope dealer, man. You walk around with hope in your pocket. You're a person that can help anybody you come across. Now, it so happens that you can change an alcoholic's course of life. Okay. But there's a key there. You cannot expect anything in return. Nope. That includes money. If you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. That's step 2. All right. Decided. 3 frogs on a log. You got 3 frogs on a log. Two of them decide to jump. How many frogs are on the log? There's 3 frogs. They only made a decision. Decision doesn't require action. The first 3 steps require no action. And there's very good reason for that. I do not I don't have worksheets. There weren't worksheets given to me. I'm not going to go online and make the big book more than what it is. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. Okay? I'm not these things. Now, I was a CAC when I was 20, but that's lapsed. I'm no longer a CAC. And I have to be okay, and I'm just okay with that. It's okay to be me, just me. I don't need to do this other stuff. What is a sponsee's job when they first get here? Breathe in and out, go to meetings, and don't drink. That is their only job. Anything beyond that, If you want to put action in there, then do this. Get them starting on their living amends then. Because you can start your living amends from the day you get sober. A living amends just means you're going to be a better person each day. That's all it is. Just be a better. Now, tomorrow you may go back 2 steps. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do the best that you can that day. That's all we're asking. Right? Today, I'm not feeling well. You're not going to get all the same stuff that you usually get today. Right? But I'm going to do the best I can. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. I'm telling you, all these other fangled ways, okay? If recovery is clinical, no. I don't want it. I don't. I'm tired of clinical. Okay? The only thing NADAC has really done for us in the last 20 years is give us a different name. Now it's alcohol use disorder. They've done nothing. In fact, they continue to make it worse and make more money. Yeah. If it is not 12-step based. Okay. Now, most of the sober livings in Colorado they're just body broker farms. Yeah. Just like a puppy mill. Mm-hmm. But we could not, with all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go. Absolutely. Absolutely means everything. There's no gray in here. You're either pregnant or you're not. You're either going to let go absolutely or you're not. If you don't, half measures will get you absolutely nothing. But if you do the best that you can at that moment, you will get results. All right, I'm starting to wear out. So remember that we deal with alcohol. Cunning, baffling, and powerful, and patient. I'm going to throw that in there too. Without help, it is too much for us. But there's one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Okay? It isn't just alcohol that's cunning, baffling, and powerful. It's also my pride, my ego. That's alcoholism. That's alcoholism. What is ism? I, self, me. It's ism. I, self, and me. Okay. Now, they're trying to say here, now this is what people do. They're like, okay, well, that book was written in 1939 and things have changed. No, they haven't. Nope. They write about sober living in the 12 by 12 and they saw they had to have some super promoter and all this money and it fell on its face. Well, all of this will fall on its face too. It's called the Abilene effect. It's when a group of people do the wrong thing for popularity because they follow the popular person. Quit doing that. Stop being a fucking lemming, man. Stop it. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. You ever hear the crossroads or you make a deal with the devil? Well, now we're at a turning point. And this is what Fred is talking about. And this is where I'm going to be born again. in that third step. I am born again. It's like pressing the reset button. And this may sound a little Christian-y, but hallelujah, hallelujah, man. Hallelujah. You know, there's something that I found out, that every religion, every good, true religion has one consistency, and it's Jesus. I can believe in that. I can get with that. So we ask his protection and care with complete abandon. Just a different word of saying all of it, right? I'm going to skip the steps. Not in a literal sense, right? Many of us exclaim, what an order, I can't go through with it. You know what? If I can do it, you can do it. I just got done telling you about all the other things that I deal with, and most of us don't deal with that. Although, if you go through a life of an alcoholic and you think that you're coming out of it unscathed with no trauma, yeah, that's why you best do that fourth and fifth step, man. See, there's two ways to deal with snakes. I have found out. You either face them or you wait till the trauma comes out and you go to therapy. Those are your options. But I tell you this, you will never get away with anything in this life. And Cat Williams has been saying it, and he's right. This is the year of karma. And it's going to continue on next year. God is righting some wrongs. I can see it. Can you see it? If you believe in God like I do, I know you can see it. If you have thoroughly followed the path, I know you can see it also. I call it God consciousness. No, that doesn't mean God talks to me, but I can see God in everything I look at. That's what that means to me. Okay. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. No. No. We're going to try, though. See, 6 and 7 deals with perfection. What? We're not perfect? No, we're not. But I'm going to try. I'm willing. I'm going to try to be perfect. I know I'm going to fall short. Okay? But because of that attitude, I get to go further. I get to go, I'm allowed to go further because of that. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. That's all you need, a little bit of willingness. If you don't have willingness, pray for some willingness. All right? The principles we have set down are guides to progress. It's a guide to progress. And then they immediately, anytime they say guide, the next sentence is a guide. Okay? So, do you do this? We claim spiritual progress. That's the guide. I don't like the rest of that sentence because it fucks with your head. Because we claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Just take out rather than spiritual perfection. We claim spiritual progress. Do you claim spiritual progress? Do you know how to claim spiritual progress? Some people don't. Good job. All done. That's it. We don't have to, what's another way you can do it? Thank you, God. It's another way you can do it. So claim your spiritual progress. It's part of the 10th step. At the end of the night, I can tell you now, I'm not in the red at night anymore. That hasn't been that way for years. Okay? The only way I'd be in a red is if I had to make an amend to somebody that I wasn't able to do yet for that day. For that day. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter of the agnostics, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. And so, ABCs is just step 1, 2, and 3. A, that we're alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. That's step one. Okay. The first honest thing that I'm going to say, I'm Dion, I'm an alcoholic. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. I'd like it if they took probably out of there. But there again, you know, and C, that God could and would if he were sought. But you got to seek. You know, I've been saying this a lot lately, but when it comes to gifts from God, you get your gift before you even have to do anything. You just have to wholeheartedly believe that it can happen. So that's why people like me like to come on here and say, hey, man, you don't need to do all this other stuff. No. See, the program's simple. The program is simple. It's the moment that you try and make it easy that you're going to screw it all up. Don't make your life easy. When my life is easy, I don't learn anything. Oh, I'm comfortable in my sobriety. Well, then maybe it's time to stir some shit up, man. Maybe it's time to get a little uncomfortable and face some of these things. All right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. I love you. Peace out and have a day.